Hey Cats fans, Ben Reeve here from The Hoop Show. It's Sunday night, the 19th of June. Let's have a chat about the Cats defeating the West Coast Eagles on the weekend. Hey everyone, Ben Reeve here. As I said, it's a late night tonight. Hopefully you're still up watching this, and if not, you're watching this on replay the next day or later this evening even. Wasn't the best game, was it? Oh, we got the win, considering the other results that over the weekend, lots of upsets, lots of scores that you didn't expect to see, especially those teams around the 8. We were probably happy to just get away with that and not be one of those teams that fell over and ruined some of their chances for a top 4 finish. So yeah, look, I'll take the win. I think you've just got to, at this time of the year, sometimes you're going to win ugly, sometimes it's going to be beautiful football to watch, and unfortunately Saturday twilight wasn't one of those games that was beautiful to watch, and we probably won't watch it again, will we? But let's have a look at some of the ticks from the weekend, because we can always find a positive, can't we? And there was lots of positives when you really think about it. The big one, of course, Tommy Hawkins, 700 goals, 701 actually now. Can he make 800? Would you rule it out? I think you probably would, but yeah, we'll see. Let's see. It's possible. I reckon he'd have to go another 3 years and be maintaining his good form. That's asking a lot, though, at his age at the moment, isn't it? Now, Stengel, man in picture, All-Australian I'm picking. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now. He's got a little bit of competition in the small forward spot, but it is really how those All-Australian selectors go, what their thinking is at that time of year. I don't really know. Like they'll probably pick 6 massive forwards, big key forwards, to fill the slots, but hopefully they'll save 1 or 2 for the mid-range and the smaller forward types. He's definitely making the case. I think it's his 6th time this year that he's had 3 goals or more. Absolute nut. What's he doing? Now, Cam Guthrie, tackling machine, wasn't he? 13 tackles. I think he had 10 or so in the first half. Cam, what happened to you in the second half? 13 tackles for the whole game. That's insane. He just clearly seemed to be on a mission right from the first bounce of the ball to just put a lot of pressure on and to really rattle the West Coast side. But credit to West Coast, they played really well and had a lot of big names come back. And they're just names, and they're coming back for the first time this year. But look, they were really good, and I think. Yeah, Guthrie and a few others just really laid a bit of heat and early, and they stood up to the heat, so good on them. You can't ask for much more than that. Menegola coming back, that was great to see him come back and get a fair bit of the pill. He looked a bit rusty to start, a bit of turning over quite a bit. But as the game went on, he seemed to find his rhythm a little bit and was linking up a lot more. It was seemed to be enjoying being back in the squad. And was lucky enough to be on the end of some goals and some really there was one goal that he sold the candy nicely. It was great, beautiful goal. I love that one. I think that's on the highlight reel. We posted a highlight reel earlier today actually, so check that one out. I quite enjoy that one, the highlights tape. So it only goes for about 6 minutes. So if you haven't seen the highlights or you want to see a bit of commentary over the top of the highlights, check that one. I can't recommend that highly enough. And lastly, the last tick I've got is Adkins. Is he a chance to win the Cardew Greaves medal? Maybe not, but he's in the conversation. He has to be in the conversation. He's got to be top 4, top 5. When you think about it, you've probably got Jezza, for sure, Tom Stewart, Blitzarves, yeah, maybe. I have Blitzarves in there. Tom Hawkins, would you rule out Tom Hawkins? You've got to have Tom Hawkins in there, don't you? And then who are we talking about next? Selwood had a pretty good start to the year, but maybe he's dropped off a little bit and age is starting to catch up with him. And I'm not picking on Selwood because he killed it again on the weekend. Not as he makes the odd mistake here and there these days. You watch him in those early years. He was amazing. Top 3 in the Brownlow almost every year. He was great. But yeah, I think Adkins is a big chance, a big chance for the Cardew Greaves medals with 9 games to go. I'm not ruling out. I want to see him get best on ground. Though. I want to see him get on the Roll of Honour. We got we've got to somehow get him on the Roll of Honour. I don't do the votes though. I just put the poll out there, and you guys vote at the end of the day. So you've only got yourselves to blame if you're a Tom Atkins fan why he's not getting on the Roll of Honour. But let's get him there. Let's work hard to get him there. And Tom, I'm glad you grew the moustache back. It's really working for you. So on you, Tom. Good for that. Good one there. Let's have a look at some of the crosses. And I'm sure there's a few. Second quarter fade out. How many times are we going to have a whole quarter where we just write it off? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes here or there, fair enough. But another 30, 40 minutes of just rubbish. I watched the mini match and I couldn't figure out what was going on other than probably just giving West Coast their respect. I think they played really well and we just probably weren't ready for it, I guess. Some brighter minds than me will probably analyse it and maybe find out what was really going on there. But they came back hard and drew level at the halftime main break, and then just got their noses in front for about a minute or so in the third quarter, early in the third. But another quarter fade out, another second quarter fade out. It's very frustrating, but I guess we're still doing enough to win the games. We're 9-3. We're fourth on the ladder. You know, I found it easier to find ticks this week than to find crosses, so I should say that. Now, Brian Myers, I don't want to jump on Brian Myers back too much, but I can't ignore the fact that he had 7 touches and he didn't use those touches very well. Brian, I was really impressed with the way you came back a couple of weeks ago. That was great, but yeah, you weren't fantastic on the weekend. I'm not knocking your running, I'm not knocking your chasing and all the other stuff you do. But yeah, it's just that knock on you still around the use of the ball. It's just not seeing it. So, bit of a shame. Cooper Stevens, got a fair bit of it really. I think he only played like 61% of game time, but nearly had 20 touches or so in that amount of time. So that was pretty good. Still needs a bit of time. So this is definitely not a knock on him. I think he's shown lots, and hopefully we keep him in the side. I think it's only good for his confidence, but. Cooper needs a bit more time, needs a year or two more. He probably came into the side a little bit early. A few people that are a bit smarter with their footy knowledge than me were saying that maybe we should have kept him in the twos a little bit longer. But yeah, let's see him grow in the ones, and he's going to be the future for our club over the next 10 years. So why not get him in the ones now and get him used to it and get some games with him when you can, if we're good enough to carry some of those younger guys through, ideally. But did some good things, puts his head over it, and he's a hard nut, and love the way he goes about it. Just some of his decision making and execution, just a bit of work to be done in that area, but can't knock him too hard. Now, West Coast fans, oh my goodness me, and I should throw West Coast umpires in this mix as well, but no, West Coast fans, do they like to boo? Oh my goodness me. They are so one-eyed. I really want to get to the Perth Optus Stadium one day. But yeah, a couple of people who were there, they were saying it's just terrible and they'll never go again. The fans are that bad. They were just terrible. Goodness me. I don't know. Anyway, I've had a whinge about them, but I'll move on from that. And my last, I guess, whinge, and I expect perfection from Geelong because we are the greatest team of all. But we took a lot of marks inside forward 50, but gee, we shanked a few, didn't we? The scoreboard didn't look too bad. What was the score? Just flick back to my main camera. Yeah, 12-9, not too bad. But we missed a few out in the fall as well, and a couple didn't make the distance. That wasn't really great. But what are you going to do? I've been happy 12 goals. I was talking to my partner, like, it would be nice if we kicked 25 goals today, and I was getting carried away on Twitter and all that we were, and as was a lot of other people on Twitter, mind you, we're going to win by 100 or so. Others were less optimistic, thinking it was going to be the game that we were going to lose after the bye and all that stuff, but we got there in the end. So my votes for the week, I gave one vote to Tom Hawke, because I nearly didn't get him in the votes actually, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, how many times does a forward just get no love? And he's kicked 3 goals, missed a couple other ones, done a few good things. You've got to give a guy a vote for kicking 3 goals or more, don't you? Anyway, he's done his job. What more can you say? Sam Menegola, amazing really, considering so much time away. He comes back, has 20-odd touches and kicks 2 goals, and just does a power running. And I thought he's probably one I didn't think was going to come back, but really happy that he made his way back into the team. That was fantastic. So well done, Sam. It was definitely raining men and Gola on the weekend, that's for sure. Tom Adkins, what more can you say about Tom Adkins? The axe. He's a gun. I love him. I love Tom Adkins. If you don't love Tom Adkins, go check yourself because you got problems. Because Tom's a gun, and give him the Carji Grease medal. Well, I want to see him. I want to see him on the podium. He needs to be on the podium. And imagine if he actually took it out. My voice has just gone up a few octaves there, but imagine if he took out the Carji Grease medal. How crazy would that be? Wouldn't I think everyone would be happy for him if he did. Oh, that'd be a fun night. I'm going to try and get there if I can. Oh. Got to get to the Carji Grease medal this year. It's going to be fun. Ken Guthrie for his 13 tackles and stack of the pill, killed it. Bit of grunt, bit of aggro there too, which I liked. Gave away a silly free kick here or there, but really liked what I saw from Cam. And Tyson Stengel, he was the fans' number one choice for best on ground, and he was my choice as well. Couldn't go past him. Best game for the club. Just watching the highlights again. He kicked 3 goals and almost could have had 4. He just did so many good things. I really wanted to get Jezza on here. I just didn't because of his scoring output. But watch the tape again and you'll see Jezza getting at least 4 direct goal assists through his awesome field kicking and decision making. It was great. Jezza was fantastic. Now I wish I could read. I didn't want to. You got to have Tom Hawkins in there, don't you? Well, I was tossing up between him and Jezza, but anyway, everyone's votes are going to be different. So you'll probably look at my votes and go, "What drugs are you on, mate? You're all over the shop." Anyway, that's what I went for. All right, let's get into some Twitters now. We've got Joey first up. Joey's been on a couple of times. I like Joey's stuff. Keep it up, Joey. Joey M, I should say, Warrior Boy. Now, those Eagles supporters still booing even after the game is done and dusted. They must practice all week. Yeah, maybe they do. They're nuts. Surely they've got another syllable in their vocabulary than boo. And do they realise the umpire bias that they get at their home games? I know we get a little bit too, but at GMHBA. But oh my God, at Optus Stadium. Do they get a little bit of love from the umpires? Oh, goodness me. Oh, there was that Stengel. He should have had 4 because he got pushed in the back. Clear push in the back as he was running in towards goal. Oh, no. Didn't notice that because we were ball watching. Didn't see the guy push him square and fair in the back. But anyway, well, not fair at all. But anyway, good on you, Joey. That was a nice one. And yes, they are frustrating the hell out of me. Let's have a look at Connor. And what's Connor? I don't think I've had Connor on before, so welcome to the Hoops Show, Connor. 700 for the Tomahawk, one of the all-time greats, and a privilege to watch a champ and an idol live in his prime. There's a few Geelong players, thanks Connor, that we are very, very lucky to have seen or get to watch on a weekly basis, whether that be at the games or on telly. The Selwoods, the Hawkins, even Danger. We're going to miss these blokes. I think back to 10 years ago, and I'd love to see Milburn run out there again. I'd love to see even Tom Harley. These aren't the heroes of the footy club. They're part of our premiership years, but Gary Ablett Jr. Obviously, you forget because especially the kids growing up the last couple of years. They saw him at the tail end of his career. You go back to 2008, 2009, early part of 2010s. Just watch the man work, and he's just gliding across the grass. He's great to watch. Oh my God, some of that stuff. So look, we've got some guns in the team still. Maybe they're at the tail end of their career, but haven't we been lucky to see these players go about it over the years? So yeah, thanks, Connor. Really good observation there, and it is a privilege, and we're very, very lucky to have these guys at the club. We should never forget that. All right, who's next? Tom Zero Stratus 93. Tom, I think you're a Hoop Show virgin, so welcome. I've popped your cherry. Cooper Stevens, great in the contest and a solid tackler. Just needs to tidy up his disposal, decision making, but will be a player. Yeah, I think you're right, Tom, and I alluded to this before a little bit as well in my comments, that I think Cooper's not far off it, and he's doing all the right things. It's just a couple of tweaks here and there, and he'll get there. But got to remember he's pretty young. He's missed a lot of footy. Probably needed to maybe make his debut a little bit later in the year, or even I didn't want to keep him out another year. This is the year to play him. But I really like what Cooper Stevens is doing. He's really solid and doing all the right things. But yeah, it's just a couple of times throughout the game. It's just some poor decisions. He was probably overcooking the handballs a bit and just missing some targets. But get that right, and all of a sudden, what do we got here? It's amazing. It's amazing how a player looks very different if they start hitting targets and making the odd decision. And a lot of that comes with experience and understanding the speed of the game and where your teammates are moving, and even just the game plan. 3 or 4 years of a game plan. Even this year, it's a totally new game plan. Everything we've been telling this kid for the last couple of years, it's all changed this year. So, and he's playing his first year. So I think we'll be very, very patient with Cooper and expect big things from him next year and beyond. Thanks, Tom. The Republic. I think it's a Star Wars reference. No, some I don't know. You'll tell me in the Republic. Tell me in the chat. After all the ups and downs, and very often losing after the mid-season break, my biggest surprise is we're only 4 points from the top of the ladder. Who would have thought that? Exactly. Who would have thought? I wouldn't have. At the start of this year, look, I did, because I put it in my predictions. I said we'd finish top. I did say we'd only lose 3 games. We've lost 4. But, who knows? Maybe we'll win the next. We won't lose another game for the rest of the year, and I won't be far off it. You never know. I'll be back on here, I guarantee you. I'll be saying, I'll do this episode, I told you so. It'll go for 3 hours, and you'll just have to sit and listen, and me just ranting and raving about why I was right. And everyone else was wrong. And the Cats went on to win the premiership, and Joel Selwood lifts the premiership cup. I went there last week. I'm going to ease up on that a little bit again, because I jumped the gun a little bit on the Joel Selwood stuff. But let's keep going, Cats. We're doing well. We're doing very well. We're 4th. Got a tough game against Richmond, who probably deserve to win next week just as much as we do. They're playing really well at the moment. I still rate ourselves against them. I think we'll do okay against Tigers, and played pretty well against them last few times, so I think we should be okay. All right, what's the next tweet? Last tweet of the week, and I'm going to wrap it up. The Geelong Insider at Insider Geelong. Let's never speak of this game again. Yeah. It's going to be a hard one to rewatch. But much ago you watch the highlights, because we put a nice little video together for that. But yeah, don't sit through a 2.5 hour replay of this game. I think you can just sort of look at the fixture and the results for the year and just say, oh yeah, Geelong had a nice win. Could have been better, but got the win. That's all that matters. We're 9-4, and we're moving into the latter third of the season with the head of steam up. So we'll be happy with that. That's fine. That's no big deal. So I don't think we'll be watching this one, and won't be talking a lot about it. Got the win. If we'd be talking a lot about this game if we had lost it, and that would just been season-ending stuff. Have we had a loss, the St Kilda ones, the 8-point swing, that game, even though Saints are dropping off a little bit now, that was the one that I wish we had back, and clearly the Hawthorn one. But look, even Melbourne's starting to drop games now. Everyone's dropping games they should win. We've beaten Brisbane. Freo's looking pretty good at the moment. So look, it's a pretty even season, really, except if you're down the bottom of the ladder. I reckon the top 5 or 6 teams, maybe top 5 is probably where it's at this point of the year. I don't think I'd be picking the premiership outside the top 5 at this point in time, and I don't think I'd ever pick the premiership outside of the top 4 when it's all said and done in September when we get to the finals. But if you're in the top 5 now, I think you're a real shot at the premiership, because there's a lot of things that can happen between now and then. You get a bit of form, you get some injuries, goes the other way. So much can happen, and we'll just wait and see. I think it's still Melbourne's to lose. I think they've shown enough this year that they're clearly the best team when they're playing well. Far and away, probably 20% better than everyone else. I would pick them in a grand final. Go back, wind the clock back 3 or 4 weeks. They were certainties to win the grand final the way they were going, but you don't win grand finals at the halfway mark of a season, do you? You need to have a bit of luck. Melbourne probably not getting a bit of luck at the moment. Geelong's starting to get some good players back, but like every team, they're going to have some fluctuating form and so forth. So it is what it is. Anyway, So anyway, that's the show. What have we kept it around about 20 minutes? That's not too bad. Hope you stayed with me for a little bit and watched. Hopefully the streaming quality's not too bad. I'm not sure. You maybe let me know in the chat if it's really crap. I'll see what I can do about that. I'm playing it through my Wi-Fi, which is probably not ideal. Need to do the old-fashioned plug-in-the-wall job. I'll sort that out. But yeah, a bit of feedback about the quality of these things would be great. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Hopefully you all have a lovely Monday. I'm staying home. I'm working from home Monday, which I quite enjoy. Mondays and Fridays, I enjoy that. I'll be up and about taking the kids to school first thing in the morning, though. Well, my little one's got the day off, but so she'll be sleeping in. I'll have to drag her out of bed. She's too young to be left at home at this point, but I'll drag her out of bed. But anyway, so for the rest of the week, tomorrow night, we've got, I can announce it now, we've got a interview on Behind the Play with John Aaron, MP, so that'll be a good show. That's a really fun, it's probably... I really enjoyed watching that one. I enjoyed that one out of all. This is our last one the fifth one that we've done. It's probably I got the most, had the most laughs watching this one. And John really loves his footy. I'm not just saying that. He's fully decked out in his Cats gear, and he had a good old time. So I hope he did anyway. He looked like he was having a really good old time with Paul James. And Paul's doing a great job on that show. I'm really loving it. Don't forget to check out the Draft Wars with the Chaps Chat Cats, and Kieran Fields. He'll do his last time series. I think we'll put that out on Thursday this week. I'll double check that, but I think that's scheduled ready to go for Thursday this week. So that'll be good. I've probably missed something. Hopefully I haven't missed anything, but got a bit of stuff coming your way through the week. Anyway, so let me know what you think. If this format's working okay. I'm really keen to see what the streaming quality is like. I'm doing this stuff live. I think it's a bit more. They're easy to do for one thing, and for another, I think it probably stops me from hitting this pause button, re-record, redo that again, and I just sort of start crapping on for 20 minutes or so. Anyway, I've probably crapped on for an extra 2 minutes than I needed to, and I need to tuck you all in bed and say goodnight. Anyway, go Cats, and we'll see you all next week.